Well, there's two school of thoughts within sport organizations when recruiting people. The first one is we should all always work, or when it's about hiring staff, recruit people from within our sport because they love our sport. So many sport organizations have people that are from the sports. They're athletes, administrators, coaches that grew up and have been involved in that sport. So the retention strategy here is, well, they just love their sport and the people around it. Now, the downside of this, and I had that discussion recently at a sport leadership conference with someone, is that whenever you recruit someone from within the sports, you may not get the best person for the job description. A lot of the tasks, especially for staff inside sport governing bodies and sport organizations, or sports management, different role in sports management. So some of them don't have the skill and the expertise. So when you recruit outside of your organization in a role that fits well, it's a right chair, if you want, for that person. Because let's say I'm trained in management and I'm given a role in communication marketing, and that's what I like to do. Well, I fit in the right chair. I come from a different sport or different organization inside a new sport. So two elements is to make sure that you have the right person in the right chair, and also looking at uh, keeping people within the same sports, because people are often more naturally what we call intrinsically motivated because they enjoy their sports. The other thing is try to define a role for someone that fits their interest, their skill, and what they enjoy to do. It's not always possible, but at least some of the key responsibilities that they might have are things that they enjoy to do on a daily basis because it can be lonely. I remember speaking to a sport organization at some point. They were that was before the pandemic, many years ago. People were sitting in the same office, and one of the key members of that team told me we never really talk to each other because we all do different things. So, he's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing. They have different portfolios, and while they're sitting in the same office, they don't really talk. So imagine when people work remotely, or some of them work remotely, there can be isolation. So I think it's also about senior leaders checking in once in a while, giving them interesting projects, valuing their input, and perhaps giving them some responsibility. If you're just a coordinator starting up, give them a small task, small responsibility, something where they can shine, feel valued. Especially that in sports, most of the time people are, I don't want to say underpaid, but they're usually at the lower end of a salary scale for similar jobs in different industry. Because sports doesn't most of the time pay as much. They're usually below the average of any similar role in a different industry. So you want people that choose to be there. And that's the case in most sport organizations. People chose to be in sports because there's something a little different about sports. People are there for the passion. So it's about valuing what they do. It's about giving them something they're good at. It's about sometimes bringing a mix of people from within the sports and from outside of sports. And it all starts with a leader. It comes down to what a coach does. And senior leadership is also often very important as well.